Counter Punch Boxing News, and I am live. My apologies. I am in a different time zone, so I thought it was actually in about, let's see, 16 minutes. But we got Fizz, been missing for a long time. Mama Lou, what it do? Hello there. Counterpunch to you. Bars. Big John, Big Bad John, he's went completely AWOL. Maybe he's been banned from Saudi for public disorder. Yeah, that and the fact that you do all that extraness. You do all that extra, and then your son gets beat. And then you have to deal with your own shit. See, he has to deal with his own stuff. Big John has to deal with the fact that he assaulted a guy that was on Team Usyk, and then his son gets beat. So it would have probably been worth the fines or the restrictions or the consequences if his son would have won, because nobody would have really cared at the end of the day. You know what I mean? What's good, Stuart? What's good? Fook News, decent timing on display by Jack Catterall last night. Yo, let me tell you something about Jack Catterall, bro. Ever since I seen Jack beat Josh Taylor the first time, I already knew what time it was with Jack. Jack had a smooth style. He kind of reminds me of Edislandi Lara on the way he's able to counter. He's a southpaw, but a slick southpaw. You know what I mean? So he's similar to like an Edislandi-like style, but he's more aggressive. You know what I mean? But then he's good with distance, and they both have that in common. And Jack Catterall beat Josh Taylor, dropped Josh Taylor, and then got robbed by Josh Taylor. So I am happy for Jack Catterall because I knew that was foul, but we know this is the sport that we love, that we hate so much. So it is what it is. John Fury, his son, lost after he bragged him up like a smoke signal. He also wanted to fight Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson fights Jake Paul. Does he feel a little low about this? Well, I mean, we haven't heard anything from him feeling low or any other thing, how he feels, because we don't know what's going on with him. We don't know where he's been. We don't know what the deal is. We don't know how, we haven't heard anything from John, and that's bad, and it doesn't look good at all. Skrilla 50 in the building. Counterpunch to you. Yeah, that headbutt was embarrassing. It was embarrassing, bro. Big John is still setting up the BAM fight with Froch, placing all his weapons and people of choice to stack the decks in his favor. If I was Big John Fury fighting someone like Carl Froch, you know what I would do? You know what I would do if I was him? I would go for Carl Froch's nose. Carl Froch's nose is his pride and joy. And if I'm John Fury, if I know I can't beat this young stud, how old is Carl Froch? 47? In shape, Carl Froch. Yes, he's going to beat John Fury. But if I'm John Fury, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take out that nose. I'm going to try my best to either headbutt him. I'm going to try to break his nose. He going to have another surgery messing with me. He might whoop my ass, but at the same time, he's going to remember fighting me, because I'm going to do something to Carl Froch to make him remember that I am Big John Fury. He already took out somebody's eye, right? So it is what it is, John is like 100 pounds heavy. I don't think that matters. Because, see, someone that older, he might be bigger, but how much stronger is he? You know what I mean? Carl is 47 and still looks fairly young. Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for the grays that he naturally has, he would look a lot younger. In fact, Carl Froch looks better than he looked when he was fighting. Carl Froch looked like a piker. I'm just going to be real. Carl Froch looked like a piker, bro. He looked like a piker. You know what I mean? He looked kind of bummish. He looked more rough, more rugged, with that nose. Now he got it fixed, and his wife like it. Hey, by the way, shout out to Carl Froch's wife. She's fine. I don't like her voice because it's kind of, he sounds like Jon Snow's girl, the wildling, but she's fine, bro. Take nothing away from Carl Froch. He's hot. So good for him, when I grow up, I want to be just like him. Big John will call his favorite son AJ to deal with Froch. I don't know. Jay, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Oscar Hanau, hello, Kurt. How are you, man? I'm feeling great, man. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling good. It's raining here. You guys check out my view. There's my view. Boom. Look at that. There's my view. So, yeah, I'm feeling real good right now. So, yeah, I'm just relaxing, man. About to get something to eat after this live stream. So, yeah. Come back here, do some more work. You know what I mean? I may do another live stream today. But I got some things to do, as far as work stuff. So when I come back, yeah, we'll definitely connect again. Kurt, have you been in the pool yet? Nah, not yet. I'm going to do that as soon as I possibly can. But I mean, again, it's been raining. I don't think that stops anything. But, it's just when it starts storming, the lightning. Counterpunch penthouse views. Counterpunch boxing news. Bars. That's what's up, Skrilla50. Daryl Masters. Big John been told by a whole team to wind his neck and stay away. Probably, man. I think people need to understand that Big John, he's passionate, he's proud, and I think he vicariously lived his life through Tyson Fury. One thing about someone that wanted to do more than they really did in their career, they're always going to have some type of chip on their shoulder, or you're going to see some type of resistance, or some antics, some behavior that you wouldn't normally see. You know what I'm saying? So I think, and I look at Big John and the things that he does and his behavior and the punching of stuff and headbutting and stuff like that. That's just the energy that he should have used, besides taking a guy's eye out. I think he wanted to do more in the sport, and then of course his kids are doing a good job. So actually the last Fury that's undefeated is Tommy, right? Oh, sorry, UK term. Okay, yeah, I never heard of that. And I'm getting, over the years, I've got familiar with a lot of British terms, or UK terms rather. I'm learning every day, about UK terms and whatnot. So. But no, man, Big John, he's a guy that's definitely Big John, man, he's got quiet. Radio silence, yes. Radio silence, absolutely. You know. Good morning, my brother Quan's Big Guns in the building. What's up, man? Counterpunch to you. Counterpunch to you, sir. Yeah, man. So I say, if anything, in any field, in any work, when we dealing with John Fury has been humbled. That's him. You know, when a guy that won't shut up, that won't stop the drama, that can't seem to be silenced, and then he gets silenced. Oh yeah. Wind your neck in. Shut up. Don't get involved. This is none of your business. Wind your neck in. Okay, wind your neck in. I'm going to use that now. I'm going to use it to see if somebody catches it. Wind your neck up. I want to say my neck. Tyson said John is going to stay in his corner. I don't think John should stay unless he stops talking in the corner. Well, you know what? You can't blame John for that. I'm not going to blame John for that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to blame John for that. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to blame that on the responsibility of Sugar Hill Stewart. It's Sugar Hill's It's Sugar Hill's job to say what his job is. Now, what he could do, Sugar Hill should inform either John Fury directly, you know what I mean, and tell him like, look, listen to me. Um, listen to me. I need your dad to chill, or I'm gonna have to tell your dad to chill. Because if your dad won't shut up in my corner while I'm trying to help you take out your next opponent that already beat you, I don't need to be here. You know what I'm saying? So like that's how I feel about that. That's how I definitely feel about that. Vincent N, you guys speaking too soon. Big John will come out of the woodwork around fight week. Let's hope so, because we ain't heard nothing from him. You know, and see, here's the thing. Based on what Tyson Fury has said about the fight being too easy, I think I won 9 out of the 12 rounds, and I only give Usyk 3 rounds, if you guys can remember, right? So, like, that's that. You know, if I'm Big John Fury and I didn't feel some type of way, I would be feeding off what my son is saying. And why isn't he doing that? He hasn't talked about anything. We haven't heard him say, I think Alexander Usyk is a bum. I think he got lucky with a lucky punch. I think my son's going to take him out next time. The only difference is I think he was just trying to show his boxing ability. So guess what? This is what I'm going to do. He's going to take him out this time. Right? We ain't heard none of that. I heard John been unwell, Kurt. St. Don, is that true? And now if that's true, that's a totally different issue, isn't it? Send me some. You said you heard. Send me what you heard, St. Don. You know how to send it to me, okay? Send me a link, some type of source, okay? Because that's a totally different issue. If Big John is unwell, then we need to start talking in a whole different direction. That's a totally different issue. I mean, you heard. Who did you hear it from? What source? Please tell me what you got going. John can be there for motivation. I mean, he can if he, you know. Hate, son, hate. You have to hate the prick. The gappy teeth, ugly little bastard. Hate. But no, man, if he's unwell, I mean, what's going on with him? How is he unwell? Does he have this? Is he sick? You know, flu? Arthritis? What's going on? After seeing a little Ukrainian split John's forehead open, no one cares of John's opinion no more. Go back to your trailer in the UK. Damn. Tell us how you really feel, Quan's Big Guns. I want to win like that. Daryl Matt, it's kind of effed up. That'll be effed up if he's unwell. Fury head be all over the place. What with his wife as well. So yeah, if he's unwell and his wife, we just found out that she was pregnant. And you know, look, it's selfish to say, and it's very selfish to say, very tactless to say, well, he has a lot of kids anyway. No, I mean, if she was dealing with that, you know, Tyson Fury, as bad as and spoiled as those little kids are his, you know, I think he's a family man at heart. I just think sometimes his family does kind of, because I've seen that Tyson Fury Netflix special. I've seen that. And I've seen in parts of that, Tyson Fury looks like he's getting he's like they are really driving him. He didn't look like he was happy around his kids and stuff. He looked like they were getting on his damn nerves, you know? Lee 66, London, UK. Emmanuel Stewart ran a tight ship and wouldn't let anyone disrupt his coaching. I mean, I guess, if you say so. See, Emmanuel Stewart, though, but see, that's Emmanuel, and I think, see, Emmanuel, look, I don't care. I know he is royalty. I know he is generation, right? I know he's generation, but at the same time, Emmanuel Stewart, shout out to Skrilla 50 in the building. That's absolutely true. Emmanuel wouldn't put up with that shit from John Fury doing all this and doing all that. He wouldn't put up with that. He wouldn't put up with that. You know, Bruce Gas, boxing, jazz, and more. Counterpunch to you. Salute. Maybe John is in the hospital from that cut he got. Maybe hasn't stopped bleeding. Damn, you guys acting like he's Costa Zoo or something. No, seriously. I think Javen Sugar Hill is a bit too passive. You know what I mean? Emmanuel Stewart's not passive at all. Emmanuel Stewart's wants you to get him in, get him out of there. He don't want you to waste time. That's basically what the premise of Crunk's gym was. An aggressive attacking style that's specified on getting your target in landing power shots. Okay, this is sitting down on your punches, getting the damn job done, not boxing round after round after round to hope to win a decision. No, it's to get your fighter the hell out of there by landing your best shots that you've trained vigorously to do in the gym. Okay, that's what you want to express. That's Crunk's gym. Okay, so that being said, people, when we have Sugar Hill Stewart following the footsteps of his uncle, you have to look at this like, hey, well, maybe, Javen Sugar Hill should be a little bit more like Emmanuel Stewart and start telling somebody what to do or what not to do. You know, the Saudis take public disorder very seriously. John's probably not welcome back. He probably ain't gonna be there. Well, he has to be there if he's in the corner. If Tyson Fury said he's not changing anything, they've already, snipped that in the bud. They've nipped that in the bud with that. That's already over. So I don't think that'll be an issue. We can speculate, make videos or whatever, but I don't think that'll be an issue unless it comes up as an issue, and then we have to talk about it, right? John Fury was spotted in the park with Tommy and Bambino Fury. Who's Bambino Fury? Wilder isn't disciplined enough to have Emmanuel as a trainer. Well, Wilder was where Wilder wanted to be. Wilder was always a guy that wanted, I think, he was allowed to do certain things, but I think he wanted to do certain, based on what he wanted to do, he wanted someone that's going to cater to whatever he wanted to do versus what he needed to do. So no, again, I don't think Emmanuel Stewart will be that type of lenient coach. Because, if you guys remember Emmanuel Stewart going at Vlad like he did. He was going at Vlad, and it was like, oh, Bambi Fury is Tommy's kid. Okay. But yeah, I mean, dude, he was in everyone's ass. Get this motherfucker out of here, man. You're just sitting there all this up and down shit. Just get the damn job done. Throw the punches, man. Let the punches go. Right? That guy. That's Emmanuel. Emmanuel ain't putting up with that shit. Let your punches go. You know what I mean? He's saying that to Wilder, he probably, I don't know. Maybe Wilder needed exactly that. He didn't need a friend that took a dive for him. I'm sorry. And Malik Scott, I think he's very knowledgeable. Shout out to him and his newfound love with his wife, Kate Abdu, beautiful lady, commentator, boxing, in the boxing realm of things. I'm happy for him. But at the same time, was Malik Scott the best thing for Wilder? And we don't know. You know what I'm saying? I think someone like Teddy Atlas, someone that's going to tell Wilder what he expects from Wilder versus what he can do for Wilder. You know what I mean? You got to set that groundwork down first. You can't just say, man, I can do this. No, this is what I expect from you. That's why guys like Andy Ruiz never went with Teddy Atlas, because Teddy Atlas wasn't having that shit. Teddy Atlas wasn't having that from Andy. Showing up late or not showing up at all. Teddy be like, what was this? You hired me. Now you don't want to show up. Listen, I'm done. You do that again, I'm through with you, kid. You can eat Twinkies and Snickers and all that other shit you want to do. Not on my dime. Man, Teddy Atlas will go off. See, like some fighters need to be pushed. You know what I'm saying? And I know what was fueling Wilder in the first fight with Fury. It was anger. I think Wilder fights better when he's angry. He fights better when he's angry. And that's the Wilder that was unpenetrated. No diddy. What I mean by not, he wasn't penetrated, that means he didn't take a loss yet. He didn't get that ass whooping yet. He didn't get that to 2020. In 2018, Deontay Wilder was mean, Bars. Understand, Wilder was a guy that thought he could kill people with one shot, wanted to kill people. He wanted to unalive you with a shot. I want a body in the ring. I just want a body. I want to feel like what it's like to knock somebody's brains out and they laying all over the canvas unconscious, need oxygen and probably a stretcher like I did Spilker, because Spilker, his ass had to go because I had to milk her. Spilker. Right? Michael Fuller, what's up, champ? Where's Michael Fuller in the building? Think about it. A guy that you are really scared of and knocked you out cold. Will you ever be 100% for him? I don't know. I think what you could do what AJ did. You could do box, play it safe. Yeah, Fizz, to this day. Yeah, man. To this day. To this. Yeah, man. That to this day is yeah, that's boss. I'm a remix to this day with Wilder. Emmanuel has trainer many fighters because they all go to him and pay him. Well, they know they need results and they need somebody that's going to push them to their highest potential. That's what it's all about. You can only do what you can do anyway, but if someone can get you there that hasn't, or anyone hasn't been able to get you there, that's who you need to go with. See, boxing ain't about comfortability, and I think, Wilder was comfortable with Malik Scott. Malik Scott wouldn't make him do much, But to be fair, I wasn't there. I don't know what they made him do. But, if he was with someone else, I think, he probably would have done a lot more, I think he would have done a lot more, and they would have taught him the fundamentals. Now, to say that Malik Scott didn't teach him the fundamentals, I think that would be wrong. You know what I'm saying? If AJ went to Crunk's gym for a day or two, like Fury, Emmanuel had picked AJ to be in his corner, he saw Fury and knew he doesn't want to be involved with him. Eubank Jr. showed exactly how you come back from a knockout out of stoppage. Well, Eubank Jr. ain't finished, and I think the importance is lifestyle. It's how you live your life, people. These boxers, that had a crazy career, and they had a crazy career based on the things they did outside the ring. I think that's always going to be something that will haunt you as a fighter. It will stunt your potential. Okay, one of a legend in the game, Arturo Thunder Gotti. Arturo Thunder Gotti was a very exciting fighter. He was an easy bleeder. He had thin skin. He fought with his heart on his sleeve. He had heavy hands. He got in some wars. He's knocked out a lot of people. He's got knocked out. He's done everything. Did lie Joe to damn it if I know. He had his time in the ring. He was in there with Floyd Mayweather and Oscar De La Hoya and Angel Manfredi and Ruelas brothers and all that. He's been in there with those guys. Teron Millette, those guys. He had wars with those guys. Mighty Ivan Robinson. Those guys like that with Arturo Gotti, he had those wars with, okay? Mickey Ward. You have to bring up Mickey Ward if you're going to bring up Arturo Gotti. However, Arturo Gotti's lifestyle outside the ring is probably one of the reasons why he's not around today. Because after he retired, everything kind of went downhill. I think him getting knocked out by the pedophile, Carlos Baldomir, really hurt him. It affected him a great deal. However, I'll say this: if Arturo Gotti lived his life cleaner, if he decided to go home after these fights and get a massage instead of raiding the bar and going out with his friends and doing God knows what, his career could have gone a little farther, a lot farther than it actually did. It was his lifestyle. Those nights, those binging, celebrating nights that you party on the nightlife of New Jersey and Canada, because he lived in both places. Those will eventually stunt your potential and shorten your career and shorten your life. Okay. Stuart, I disagree with that. COVID took out Povetkin in the second fight, not White. That is true. Povetkin was done. COVID took him out. COVID wreaked havoc on a lot of people. A lot of people, bro. That wasn't Dillian White that did that. Dillian White had it, Dillian White did what Dillian White does. He dropped Povetkin twice in the first fight, but he got knocked out cold and also in the first fight. He got knocked out cold. So, deficiencies kill you. Yep. Skrilla Philly, that's an opinion. Fact is White wasn't gun shy for the rematch, and neither was Eubank after Smith stopped him. No. Let me tell you something. So you're saying White was gun shy in the first fight? Hell no, not with dropping Povetkin twice. Listen, let me tell you guys something. We're coming at an age of boxing in the heavyweight division where these fighters that we once liked, praised, admired, respected, and enjoyed, they kept us entertained. But those fighters, these generation of fighters, unfortunately, are coming to an end. And White is on that list of people that's coming to an end. All these guys that are mid to late 30s, they're not going to be around here the next 5 years. And if they are, they're going to be somebody's punching bag because they've either ran out of money, made some poor decisions, and still got to fight whoever to get a paycheck because of what life took them, right? So that's what it is. White did take out Povetkin. Povetkin was getting whooped in the first fight too. But I credit Povetkin. I think he had genuine KO power, so he got lucky the first fight. I think prime Povetkin KO's Fury. Let me tell you something though. Let me tell you guys something. All right. First off, I think that Povetkin did not get lucky. I think Povetkin knew exactly what he was doing. Me and Dean White, Dillian's brother, we talked about that. And he talked about the whole body punching. See, that uppercut was a setup. It just took 2 knockdowns, a lot of punishment to actually execute that fight. It took him taking those shots, those left hooks, those straight rights to take that punishment to get those shots off. Povetkin kept going to the body because Povetkin was going to eventually set up the shot that takes out White. And that's what happened. He took him out. He took him out cold. I think Wilder should have fought White. I think Wilder should have fought White too. But Wilder was too into himself, and he didn't look at Dillian White as a guy that was on his level. And the fact of the matter is, they were on a similar level. They're all boxers. They're all heavyweight boxers. He could have been a guy, and we all know Wilder ducked White because he thought he was so much better than White. He thought that he was better than him. He thought that, White was an underclassman. He looked at him as what? Remember? He looked at him as a, peasant. He called him a peasant, and he turned down the Joshua fight because Dillian White was attached to it. You know why? Because in the world of boxing, this is what could have happened in boxing. The world of boxing could have been a very disappointing thing. I think White would have, because see, White was a good fighter, and I think he was a better fighter than people thought he was, especially in 2018. You imagine Dillian White fighting Wilder? See, Wilder was also a savage, but he was dangerous just based on one trick. Dillian White was also good, and if Wilder didn't get him out of there early, Wilder probably would have had some problems with Dillian White. And I think Shelly Finkel knew it, so I knew he was like, no, I'm not taking a chance with Eddie's peon. And understand, this is what that was about. Shelly Finkel, Showtime versus Eddie Hearn, DAZN, Matchroom. That's what it was about. Shelly Finkel wanted to end Eddie Hearn's career. He wanted to end his career. He wanted to shut down, bro. He wanted to shut down Matchroom. And he wanted to do it by putting Wilder in there with AJ because he thought Wilder could chin AJ and knock him out. But he did not want to do it for a certain amount of money. He wanted to do it for too much money that Wilder was not worth. Wilder was a hype job holding up the heavyweight division. I mean, holding the division up is one thing. I think he didn't do it by himself. These fighters are not allowed to do certain things unless people allow them to do them. You know, Jose Suleiman, Jose, I'm sorry. Suleiman, the WBC president, right? He allowed that to happen. Kurt, there is some BS in your comments here saying White was more popular than Wilder. Every statement this troll has come up with. Wilder was real in 2018 to fight AJ. Well, I mean, the fight that wasn't a far gone conclusion. All I'm looking at White's left hook and Wilder's right hand. Wilder, a straight punch will land a looping shot any day. You know, he can throw that right hand before White can throw that hook. Understand, White has still to this day one of the most powerful left hooks. We just ain't saw him fight in a while. If Dillian White caught you with one of his left hooks, he will knock you out cold. You don't believe me? Shit, ask Derek Chisora. Ask Derek Chisora how Dillian White's left hook is. Ask Derek Chisora how Dillian White's left hook is. He knocked Derek out cold. Cold. That boy got power. I don't care what you say. Dillian White's left hook is still savage. When AJ, if he don't have a chin now, and he did have a chin then when he did fight Dillian White, he caught Joshua on that chin, and Joshua's big, thick neck ass, muscle neck ass, took it and was wobbly. It's just Dillian White did not know how to execute. He let emotions take over. Besides, you kind of put him together and think what I need to do. Right hand, left hook. You know what I mean? Left hook to the body, left upstairs, right uppercut, then left hook. He didn't think of that. He just, you know, his jittery ass, unbalanced legs. You know, I got him and just started welling away punches. That's not how you got AJ out of there, and AJ was able to recoup. Okay. White had power, but he couldn't take the power. Well, he couldn't take uppercuts. But then again, we don't know because I seen Jermaine Franklin buckle Dillian White too, so you might have a point on that. Let's just be real. You know, we have to look at these fighters based on what they're doing in the ring with the fighters they're doing it with. And what we know about Jermaine Franklin, he's not known to be a power puncher. So if he did get buckled with a right hand and you did see those legs do that little dance, we all know that maybe he doesn't have the punch resistance anymore. But what did we just see about a month ago? Hell, if that's the case, maybe AJ doesn't either. And if that's the case, maybe Tyson Fury doesn't either. You know what I'm saying? And it's guys now in the heavyweight division, people. These guys are in the heavyweight division that are known to have chins, don't have chins no more. Look at Joe Joyce. Things are changing. People are diminishing. You are never the same going in that ring versus coming out. You're never the same. You're not the same. You take some type of war wound, some type of scar, some type of damage, some type of physical stripe. You take that, bro. You take that going into that ring. Something's going to happen that's going to affect your life by the time you leave that mother sucker. No, Quan, what was said is that White's generated money more as a challenger than White as a champion. Well, let's get this, let's solve this right now, okay? Dillian White was an interim champion. Dillian White paid his damn sanctioning fees. He paid his dues. He did the same thing. He had the same belt Wilder had. It's just Wilder was the WBC champion. He was the number one. He was the interim champion. He was the guy that paid his 3% to Mauricio. That's his name, Mauricio Suleiman. And he got, what did he get for it? He finally got the opportunity like 1,000 days later. You know what I mean? So no, I mean I think Dillian White was a champion. I think he should have been reviewed as a champion also. You know, based on what he did. Now, was he that super champion? No, he wasn't. But all the belts we have today, and we're talking about who's a champion and who's not. No, I think who's the champion is who was willing to defend that championship status. And I think when Povetkin beat him, he was that guy to become Diamond. Understand this too. Dillian White was best over in more ways than one. And he was looked at as a second class fighter anyway, not just from Deontay Wilder, but from guys like Mauricio with the WBC. Okay, what did he do? He fought a guy that was undefeated. Like now, he wasn't a journeyman. He was kind of like that I get Caballo character, of that time, and his name was Oscar Rivas. Oscar Rivas, nobody wanted to fight that dude. He was undefeated. He looked like a fucking cyborg. He was strong as hell. He's never been dropped. He beat Andy Ruiz in the amateurs. He was a guy worth dealing with and worth being alarmed about. Nobody wanted that smoke with Oscar Rivas. And he showed you, Dillian White did. They offered Tyson Fury the WBC Diamond. And then what happened? Dillian White received that belt for fighting him. Even though that was some bullshit with the adverse findings and all that, that team Rivas didn't know about. However, he still fought Oscar Rivas, and he beat Oscar Rivas in a good fight. That was a tough fight, bro. He got dropped by Oscar. I mean, and Oscar, showed you he's tough. I just wish Oscar had better defense. He has this issue with his eye, and I think that's affecting him. But he's back doing whatever. I don't know when he is. He's kind of like an Effie Ajagba. In fact, he's supposed to fight Effie Ajagba, if you guys can remember. White was the longest reigning #1 contender of all time. Prez the Investor, he sure was. Getting prepared to be a corner man. Turkey saw Wilder's numbers and said, "We need him for Riyadh. If White was more popular, White would be in Riyadh." No, not necessarily, because I'm gonna tell you why. For one, Dillian White was dealing with some issues with UCAD or BBBFC, right? So I don't even know if he was cleared to fight just yet. Because, I mean, he fought this year, and that was the first time he did fight. So that's a factor that you have to look into that and acknowledge and consider that Dillian White had some issues with, with his status, with the drug test and all that. So he had to get that cleared first, and he hired a bunch of lawyers and a bunch of other shit happened. That's something that we don't even know. And, that's not really discussed. A lot of things went behind closed doors, which I couldn't understand that. But nonetheless, it is what it is. Hey, brother, hope you got good over the flight fiasco, sending good thoughts. Memorial Gardens. Appreciate you, man. Things got a lot better. Missed some work and, it is what it is, though. It is what it is, though, guys. So, I mean, I think, if anything, uh, I'm here. I think everything happens for a reason anyway. You know, Tyson threw White a bone. Yeah, he threw him a bone. I mean, and he knocked him out for it, too. And I just saw Dillian White landing his left hook, but he was nowhere near the speed and the timing of Tyson. Tyson had the speed, Tyson had the timing, and he took Dillian White out. And then and this is what happens though. You know why Dillian White really is not looked at like he was looked at? It wasn't even because of the knockout. It was because of how he responded. Okay? It was his response to the knockout. He came up with some shit about, oh, he filed me and pushed me to the ground. Bro, he uppercutted you and he kind of helped you. It was a little tug, but it wasn't something that shoved you to the point that that he shoved you to the ground instead of hit you. The right uppercut hit you. That's why when you got the up, you knew you couldn't stand on your legs right. That's why they waved the fight off. This is in the UK. This was at Wembley. This was the record-breaking 94,000 crowd. And they shut it down because Dillian White's shaky-ass legs, forever shaky-ass legs, were not up under him. Sorry. So him saying, oh, he pushed me down, he fouled me, man, he fouled me, man, he fouled me. I don't believe that. White was getting prepared to be a corner. I know I have more than that. This It's crazy. Yeah, I'm getting rid of this phone. I got a new phone, so I'm getting that turned on as well. These guys are deluded. Wilder was way more popular than White and still is. White only sold out in the UK and his city. Wilder can sell out stadiums in any city. I don't know about any city. I don't know how he is now, so I can't say that. Quan's big guns. What I can say is White would have been more popular if he would have done what he said he was going to do. You remember White was supposed to come over here and fight in the U.S. You remember that, right? Joshua did it and came up short, but he's supposed to do the same thing. These guys are deluded. Wilder was okay. I already got that one. Why Wilder only sold well against Fury and being on Saudi undercards. Kurt, Google the Wilder Fury fights and see if any sold out. Hmm, that's a good point. Kurt, what's the best chicken dance you've seen? One of mine was David Hay clocked that big hairy Russian. Forgot his name. It will always be Roy Jones, bro. White wasn't even co-main when he fought in the U.S. He was like fourth on the card. When did he fight in the U.S.? I don't even remember that. Did you think Usyk will KO Fury this time? I don't know, but I think he has the ability, so we'll see. White has a job. White has a jab, a hard one, with great body shots. When he had more of a chin, I think would have gave a good fight to Wilder. You know, a fight I would like to see with Dillian White if he's gonna go out. Put him in there with Danny Dubois. Put him in there with Danny Dubois. Put Dillian White in there with Danny Dubois. I would love to see that fight. I would love to see that fight with Danny Dubois and him. You don't know what you'll see because it's bombs over Baghdad with that. But I do think this is what I think about back to John Fury because that's what the topic is about. I don't want to sway too far away from John. If John is, because I mean St. Don, I hope you're just not talking out your ass. I hope that ain't something you heard from someone that heard from some guy that was drunk at a bar that said it to you and said no. If he's unwell, our thoughts and our hopes and our prayers supposed to be with him, you know. You know what I mean? But we haven't seen him. And until we see him, I'm always going to have questions about him. Where the hell is Big John Fury? That cocky, brash mentality, okay? That brash mentality that he had. Then his son takes one loss and he's all crickets. Shows a lot about Big John Fury. Now, Kurt, I think Dubois will take White's head off right now, but him in there with Valine. No, I think both of them would be good, but Dubois will beat Otto Eileen. He'll beat Otto Eileen. Even though Otto Eileen unless Otto does something like he did with Tyson Fury. Okay? I read your mind just now. If White knocked out Triple D, that would be a great win. He'd become champion and have a moral victory over AJ, beating the guy that he beat. Next thing to revenge. Well, I mean, I just think styles make fights, and since White has a good style, a great left hook, he doesn't have much of a chin, maybe no resistance at this point, but if he's able to catch Dubois and catch him early, that would be a fight worth watching. You know what I mean? I think it's all about pressure and the ability to take shots, and everyone has a limit. So maybe Dillian White's hard shots, the way he delivers his left hook, was probably that limit that can bypass Dubois' jaw structure and durability. Nah, Triple D is too fast for White now. I think about it. So I think if anything, man, everyone has a limit, you know? And everybody will be so surprised that fight goes, if he fights someone like Dillian White, which there's no reason for him to do so because Dubois is just the man. He's in a great position. He's put himself in a greater position. He's You know, he can have a rematch with Anthony Joshua. He can wait for the winner of Usyk versus Fury. He can get his revenge on Alexander Usyk. So in reality, there would be no reason for him to fight White unless he just wanted to stay busy with a stay busy fight. That's all. But other than that, Big John, you know, if he's unwell, I'll do some more digging. St. Don, don't just say something that ain't true, because I don't like stuff being put out there that you don't have evidence for. Unless you can give me some evidence, we're good on that. But I will dig to see how the welfare of John Fury is, because this is a totally different issue right here. If he's unwell, we have to see what's going on with him and wish him well. Our prayers and our hopes should be with him and his family. You know what I'm saying? So that's something totally different. Is Triple G versus Lada ever going to happen? No. Rashad J4? No. That fight won't happen. Triple G did not like that fight anyway. Usyk beats Dubois badly in a rematch. Tyson said Big John will be in his corner. He did say that. I think Dubois will KO Usyk in the rematch. That could happen, you know, because, I mean, Usyk has to fight Fury again. We don't know what will happen in the Fury fight. Then he has to train again. Then if he fights Danny Dubois by that time will still be 27, probably, possibly, right? You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Tyson looking like a monster, Mike Tyson. Michael Fuller counterpunch to you. I seen my boy Showbiz's thing on it. Yeah, the Tyson, yeah, he's getting in shape, bro, because he knows he's fighting a young one, and he got to be ready for that young kid. He better be ready for that young kid. Shout out to Rashad J4 for that super chat. Appreciate you, champ. I've always had a grudge against Gaza since he scored the winner against Scotland at Wembley. Usyk might duck Triple D by going back down to fight Better Be It. Well, you know, I don't know if that's a duck, because he's already said that he may do that. So you can't call someone a duck that already gave you prior knowledge of what he was possibly doing. See, I don't like that. Oh, he's going to duck Triple G. Triple D. How is he going to duck Triple D when he already said, I may go to cruiserweight and fight? And he said that way before Joshua got smashed up by him. So stop. Counterpunch. Beterbiev is a light heavyweight. Usyk is a heavyweight. That's not going to happen. But if they both meet at cruiserweight, because understand, if you don't know, okay, Eric the actor, Beterbiev was a cruiserweight. He was a cruiserweight, so he's familiar with fighting in that weight class. Plus, Beterbiev is a much better fighter than Dubois. I don't know about that either. I mean, I just think in his weight class, he's more feared as a pressure fighter and a power puncher. But Dubois can punch and he can fight, you know. Tyson don't need John Fury. Let Sugar Hill do his job. That's true, Curtis, but I mean, he's going to keep it all. It's all about loyalty, and he's not going to change nothing. I mean, he's too proud for that. Let's just be real. He's too proud for that. Triple G is the most overrated middleweight of all time. I wouldn't say that at all. It's just Triple G did not want to. He did not want to challenge himself. So if we talk about guys like Gervonta Tank Davis, you have to throw Triple G in that category. The only reason and the only time he went to 168 was to fight Canelo, because Canelo wasn't going down to 160 no more. He was going to stay at 168, where he fought and he reigned as king, as undisputed king at 168. So Triple D just wanted that last payday. And he knew that's why he went up. But did he do that for Andre Ward? Did he do that for Carl Froch? Did he do that for Calzaghe? No, he didn't do that for none of those guys. He stayed comfortable right where he was at 160. So a lot of people gave Triple G slack, Triple G slack, a lot of flack for that. Yeah, I mean, Triple G arguably beat everyone he faced. I don't think he's overrated at all. I don't know where the hell that comes from. If anything, he was avoided. People didn't want it until they did. Guys like Lara wanted it. Abel Sanchez didn't want to fight like that with Lara because Lara was too damn slick. Lara makes you look bad. That's the kind of slick boxer that makes you look bad because you can't beat him up, piece him up, outbox him. You can't do things like that to Erislandy Lara. Erislandy Lara comes in with that slick style, with his body turned, and I mean, he's good with his distance. He has those legs apart. He can move like a damn peacock. Yo, you're not going to beat someone like Lara. You know what I mean? Why did that look? They had to buy a scorecard for Canelo to get a win over him. Paul Williams, he got beat by Erislandy Lara. They was going to stop that fight because Lara was hitting him too much at will. Then they robbed that boy. Then that was the first fight I saw of Erislandy Lara. So no, nobody didn't want to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? So no. Lara Janabek. Janabek would probably beat Lara based on his age. See, Danny Garcia ain't have no business fighting him anyway. He wouldn't have beat Lara anyway. Those are two different styles and two different levels of fighting and skill set. Danny Garcia is good, but he's not boxing elite like Erislandy Lara. That's why it looks like such a mismatch. That shit looked like Oscar De La Hoya fighting Arturo Gatti. Differences of size, skill. Lara being the boxer that's known to run takes out someone that's never been dropped before. Come on now. Watch Usyk versus Triple D fight again. It wasn't close. Bro, Alexander Usyk got hit in below the belly button, okay? On the borderline. It was ruled as a low blow. I don't care what Usyk did. It was ruled a low blow. People always, he was on the ground for 3.5 minutes. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. What matters is what it was ruled. You know what I mean? Yes, it went along, and it was convenient for Usyk because I think he was legitimately hurt. This dude's hand was shaking like this. So yeah, I think he was legitimately hurt, but it was a foul. It was ruled a foul. Regardless of what people thought and what the impact was, it wouldn't have mattered anyway because it was based on the referee. Stop, everybody. Stop with the bullshit. Just stop. Oh, well, he knocked him out. No, he didn't. You cannot knock someone out from some referee that ruled it a foul. I'm sorry. It doesn't work that way. And then he kept doing it. Danny Dubois hit him with uppercuts. And with body shots that were low. And he was pissing Usyk off. Then Usyk started to get in his ass. And Daniel couldn't handle it. Oh, get out. Oh, he got out on the ground. He thought this was a fucking fire drill. Okay? So let's stop that. Yeah, bro, Usyk pieced Danny Dubois up. He pieced him up, bro. Now, can he do it again? Can Daniel be better? I think Daniel can be better, but probably the same shit will happen. He'll start getting hit with shots, and what'll happen, Usyk ain't no bitch. He starts hitting Usyk like that. Usyk's going to move and pivot. He's going to be faking and feinting. He's going to throw those shots, those straight lefts, those right hands, and he's going to do the same thing he did to Joshua. When Joshua went at Usyk, he was coming at him with all these shots, these punches and bunches, and he was trying to get Usyk out of there. Usyk weathered the storm. The next round, 10th round, he came back and he got down. That's what happened. Then he got into Joshua's shit, and he came back legit. Bars. That's what happened. That's what he's going to do to Daniel Dubois. He'll do that shit again. And maybe Daniel may not like that. He may get down again, and that flash of that fear of whatever it was will put him back down again. Okay, so I don't want to hear all this. Oh, man, he's going to do no. If he does, good for him. But we've already seen Daniel Dubois get beat. And if he does get beat again, imagine you beat AJ twice. You beat Tyson Fury twice. Then you fight Daniel Dubois and you beat him twice too. All of these guys either champions or former champions. If Tyson KOs Jake, do you think Lennox versus Tyson 2 will happen? I don't know. That's a big difference, bro. You going from Jake Paul, a YouTuber, to the last undisputed heavyweight champion like Lennox Lewis. Are you crazy? Are you out of your mind? Bro, I don't know. I think I'll take time to think about that before getting back in there with big ass Lennox Lewis, a guy that trains possible potential fighters to this day. Appreciate that love of that super chat, Rashad J4. Usyk is boss. Oh, good question. Win or lose, Tyson Fury could call out Lewis. I think be a bad idea. Bro, I know it's a bad idea. Lennox Lewis is still in shape. If Lennox Lewis walked through this villa and said, Kurt, I want to fight you, you know what I'm going to say? Hey, man, call security. I ain't fighting Lennox Lewis. Bro, I'm not fighting you. You're not going to catch me at the end of that big-ass right hand and knock me out, knock out my teeth. Then I'm going to have to sue you, and I'm going to have to take most of that money and your gym from Jamaica. Bottom line, I'm saying this because Lennox Lewis is still a bad mother sucker to this day. I'm not fighting Lennox Lewis. I don't want to fight Lennox Lewis. I have no desire to tangle ass with Lennox Lewis. Exactly, Daryl Masters, he still trains. I think Holyfield still trains. Holyfield is a gym rat. What do you mean? Him, Vladimir Klitschko, all those dudes train. That's all they know. They're addicted to that shit. They get up and think about boxing and push-ups and sit-ups and calisthenics and strength and conditioning and all that jazz. That's all they do. That's what they know. Holyfield looks spent. I'd beat him now. Yeah, I'd probably beat Holyfield. But here's the thing. Why would I want to fight Holyfield? How disrespectful is that? That's an old legend. If you know that old legend, he's had some speech impediment due to getting hit too many times. He's had his damages, his war wounds. Why would you want to do that? Why would you even want to fight someone like that? That's just disrespectful. That's that Jake Paul bullshit. Oh, I can beat him now. He's trash. They all got a bit of brain damage. Not Mike Tyson. Claudius hasn't been severely damaged either. Nope. The only thing that damaged Lennox Lewis is probably weed and wine and stuff like that. Okay. Not trash, just well. An old guy can beat the hell out of you, man. You guys better put some respect on them old guy's name talking that. I'd rather get knocked out by an old legend than knock them out. I don't know about that. I mean, I think it depends on how. I would rather not fight him at all because it's all a lose-lose. You fight Lennox Lewis and you knock him out, you're gonna look like especially Mike. Mike's lovable. Lennox Lewis probably not. Nobody would really care, I don't think. Lennox Lewis gets knocked out. I mean, it's Lennox Lewis. Lennox Lewis was skill-wise, he's a lion. He's a savage. He's a beast. He's an elite. He's an all-time great, sure. But is he likable? No. So someone like Mike that's likable, that people like actually, I mean, they would feel worse than that. You know what I mean? It's like, why you do that to Mike? Mike is the likable character. He's had his moments in time where he nutted up on people and but he's still more likable in the eyes of fans and the public. Whereas Lennox Lewis gets chinned. It's like, yeah, Lennox Lewis, okay. He gets chinned. That's what you get for going in there fighting someone young. Why are you so against the Furies, bro? This agenda is crazy. Who's against Fury? Did Alex Crossuk buy this channel? Oh, you talking to me. Mustafa, you talking to me? What did I say bad about Lennox, well, about Tyson Fury? I mean, where you get that from? Oh, you're looking at the title and you think the title is derogatory because you're a Fury fan. Oh, I get it. Okay. I mean, look, Mustafa, don't worry about it. This is not a Tyson Fury dissing hour. It wasn't. It is not the whole time. And you don't know me at all because you don't watch my channels. You just come across this live stream. I thank you for coming. But you came across this live stream thinking that this little group of people in here are Fury haters. Well, I'm sad to mistake you with your, what's the word? You being offended, right? You're being offended by what you think this is, but it's not. So I get it. I get what you're saying. Oh, does Alex Krusik buy this channel? Yeah, I wish he would buy this damn channel and donate something to it. And I would be very feel too. But that won't stop my opinion about nothing. You know what I mean? If the opinion's true, it's crazy. If someone came to me, guys, with like money, like, hey, here's 50 grand, talk up Alexander Usyk. I'm like, I would think to myself, like, talk up Usyk. That is the dumbest. I mean, for them giving me $50,000 to talk up someone that should be talking up anyway. Hey, good. You're like, that's just like, dude, I'll give you $50,000 if you can drive me to New York and you know you're already going to New York. It's like, sure, get in. Give me that money too. Keep the politics out, please. Personally, I wish they would stop and sit down and talk. That's all I'm saying on the matter. I always wanted to see a white British champion, but Fury disappointed at every turn. Yeah, you're like Larry Merchant. And I don't give a shit what color they are. So I don't care. Why would you, who cares? I did not think that at all. And it pissed me off. Somebody came to me like, oh man, you're just mad because both heavyweights are white and that's killing you, isn't it? And I'm like, what? Dude, do you understand this is a predominantly British channel? This is a British channel. I'm American, but my audience is British. You guys are mostly from the UK, not America. Americans don't really stop by my channel like talking about, and I have thousands of them. But Americans don't really watch boxing like that. They may subscribe, but I get it. They're not here for that. A white British champion, and boxing fans always say there's no racism in boxing. Counterpunch, bro. I mean, that, like, why would you worry about color, bro? And you think guys like Frank Bruno, you think he's British. Do you think people really care if he's black? They love Frank Bruno because they love Frank Bruno. Not because he's black, it's because he's British. He has class, just like Chris Eubank Jr. Senior. You know what I mean? Like Nigel Benn. People loved those guys, not because of the color of their skin, is because of the nation that they represented. So I think people should get it right. I think what happens with here, let me drop a little knowledge on you guys for a minute. Yeah, I'm American, but what I notice about America, the good and bad thing about America is when people come here, they automatically change because people are now looking at certain structural groups based on skin color, not necessarily nationality, because it's so many nationalities here or whatever that people now look at you or where your descendants are from versus where you are as a place, instead of just loving that we're all Americans. No, it's all about, okay, well, where are your people from? Where's your granddaddy from? Where's your grandmama from? Where's your great-grandparents from? What country are they from? Everyone's trying to separate when we get to the place that's supposed to be the United States of America. And that's what's killing us as a nation. Okay, so I think if anything, I think, so I do think if anything, that's what we need to stop. Whereas other countries get it. You know what I mean? I think other countries get it for the most part. Not saying there's no racism anywhere. You know what I mean? Only in America. That's bullshit. But what I'm saying is a lot of people have learned to know what nationalism really means and what it could do to unite people and how it should unite people based on the country that you grew up in. Okay, so it is what it is. That's what I wanted to, that's the knowledge I wanted to give you for a second. But back to John Fury, St. Don, seriously, send me a link to that so we can discuss John Fury, because if he is unwell, we need to know about it and wish him well. But on that note, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to do more videos for you. God bless you. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Of course, please subscribe and like and share. And everyone has been counterpunched. Peace. Okay.